starting to do rather well, just won an award, Best Lesbian Comedian Living in the Borough of Southwark. 35 and overs category. More competitive than you might imagine. So happy bonfire night, everybody. Yeah, it's always... Yeah, oh, you are quite happy. Oh, there we go. We're being heckled by firework. But Halloween was quite scary as well this year, wasn't it? Because I opened my door and I had one of those trick-or-treaters and there was a little girl there with a big mask on with Amy Winehouse's face on it. It was terrifying. So I gave her a bottle of gin with a child safety cap on. Sort of a trick and treat, if you see. So hands up, all the single people here, raise your hands. Oh, it's all couples. Because you can raise your hand half-mast if you've got a partner, but they're working nights this week. I'm trying to put your friend's hand up there. That's, you know, that's not very nice, is it? But I was seeing somebody though, but I got dumped. Yeah. Thanks. I wasn't that bothered actually. It was a bit like the disappointment you feel when you come to the end of one of those moving walkways at the airport. And you know, you sort of go, And there is a little sense of disappointment, isn't there? But it's not much. So my friends tell me I'd meet somebody if I went on holiday, but I have a phobia of going away alone and being befriended by a British family who feel sorry for me. So I end up being the person who flat-sits my friends when they go away, and there's one friend who's paranoid about getting her keys cut, so she always hides them in an elaborate place and then sends me a text message about where that is. Go to the cupboard around the side of the house where the electricity meters are. Reach up onto the high shelf for a cracked flower pot. In the flower pot you'll find a gardening glove. Inside the gardening glove will be the first in a series of riddles. You'll need a compass, a spade, a map of the local area, and a Latin dictionary. Good luck. I thought you were going to tell us a riddle earlier. I don't like baking, but I like cooking. You know, I used to like art at school, but not physics. Who am I? Guess who? I don't know. So I've been going to the gym a lot. What did you say?
I said I was going for that with the first guy when he goes, I remember faces but not names. And I was like, oh my god, he's like, guess who?
You're getting quite involved tonight. Yeah, maybe shouldn't have sat there. But I've been going to the gym a lot, right? Because I heard that's the new place to find romance. And last week I got chatting to somebody nice in the jacuzzi. It's going quite well, but perhaps I shouldn't have said it's an acid bath. They pretended to dissolve. Yeah, I did have to start training properly a few months ago though, because I got a wild card into Wimbledon, into the tennis. Yeah, been trying for years, and I think what made the difference this time was I sent in a photo of myself sitting in my friend's wheelchair. I did have to crop the photo because you could see my friend lying on the pavement. Actually, it wasn't my friend; it was just someone I found at King's Cross, waiting for her family. No, don't judge me. I wouldn't really lie about being disabled. I think you take it all literally, don't you? It's all lies, don't worry. But I wouldn't really lie about being disabled. In fact, I went to an event at my local library and a woman handed me a feedback form and said, would you mind ticking the box that says you have a disability? Because that helps us get funding. And she must have sensed that I was worried about lying, because she looked me up and down and she said, don't worry, depression counts. But if depression counts as a disability, I wonder if you can get a special car sticker for it. A bit like the wheelchair ones, but just with a sad face. And a speech bubble saying, couldn't possibly walk further with my shopping, might kill somebody. I had a one-night stand the other week. Has anyone had one of those recently? It's funny, it's not a very good audience interaction question. But mine didn't technically last a night. And I think that's quite rude, isn't it? When you take somebody home, you have sex, and then at 3 in the morning they say, well, I think you better be going now. Because essentially what they're saying to you there is, I'd feel less dirty if I got on the night bus. Laughter of recognition there. Yes. So I got a new phone the other day, but don't mug me afterwards. I got a shit phone because I live in Peckham, which is the sort of neighbourhood. Did you know Peckham? Yeah, you saw me saying that in a slightly scarred way. No, it's not so bad, is it? All those yellow murder signs do brighten the place up. Like sunflowers. It's the sort of neighbourhood where when, for example, maybe you've locked yourself out and your flatmate has put the catch on the door and has fallen asleep, your neighbour offers to help wake them up by firing an air rifle through the letterbox. Wouldn't have been my first choice. But I did go to get a new phone, and I went to the car phone warehouse. That was a typo I did in Google, but if anyone's been to Car Phone Warehouse in Peckham, you'll know that that's actually more apt, because it's populated by people who seem to spend a lot more money on phones than education. Because phones encourage laziness, don't they? And if you don't believe me, take a look in the text templates folder where they've already written some of your messages for you, in case you can't be asked. They have all sort of lots of everyday phrases, don't they? Like, I'm in a meeting, I'm running late, and fuck off, I hate you. Stop stalking me, it's not funny anymore. I know I'm small, but I carry a knife. You know, things like that we use every day. And you can send an emoticon as well, can't you? I don't know what some of them mean. There's one with little sunglasses on. Is it, why are you texting me? I'm blind. And there's another one with a little face that goes like this. What's that? Can't talk now, I'm having an epileptic fit. But the text template I hate the most is the one that says, I love you too. I mean, how lazy and casual do you have to be about a relationship? I mean, surely if you really love someone, you could be asked to type it. You know, there's not even a kiss at the end. I mean, why don't they go the whole hog and have a whole series of text templates for all the stages of the relationship, you know? Is it time we started talking about moving in together? Send. Why don't you come off the pill? Send. Why are you on the pill? We're lesbians. Send. Fuck off, I hate you. Stop stalking me, it's not funny. I know I'm small, but I carry a knife. So is anyone looking forward to Christmas, or are we all grown-ups? Yes. You really, you are?
Fuck you.
You're not British, are you? It's usually an anticlimax here, you'll get used to it. But my Christmas is always an anticlimax, because I always go and stay with my dad up north, and we don't really like the rest of the family, and can't be bothered with Christmas, so we just stay in on our own, like a couple of old Scrooges going, oh, I hope it doesn't snow. And the closest we get to some sort of activity or game is him showing me the drawer where his will is kept. In case he dies suddenly. Then he'll forget that he's shown me, and he'll show me again. But we don't really bother exchanging gifts now, me and my father. So what we do instead is we dust off the old presents that we exchanged in the 1980s and we look at them again. And whilst he's playing with his Rubik's Cube, I'll reminisce about the year one of my presents was that funny mastermind game with the little pegs in the board. Do you remember that? And the rather menacing photo on the front of the box, with an older gentleman and a Filipino woman. As if he was saying, look what I won. It's always haunted me, that. But this Christmas has got a lot to live up to, if it's going to live up to the highlight of last year, which was when this newsletter came through my door from the Peckham Rise Safer Neighbourhoods team. But there's a lovely poem in here that's been sent in by a local resident, Maud Plowman, age 98. She's really called Anne, I just changed her name there to protect her identity. And I'd like to read it to you. It's quite serious, it's about drinking and driving at Christmas. You ready? Don't know why I said you ready there. Last time someone said that to me, they were about to go down on me, but don't think about that. Don't drink and drive. It's so much nicer to be alive. If you want to enjoy the festive season, forget your car for a very good reason. Remember your loved ones waiting at home. They don't wish to spend Xmas alone. They'd much rather have you home with them to enjoy the Xmas fun than to have the sad news that you've been found dead in a wrecked car. I think she lost her sense of rhyme and rhythm. But we mustn't laugh, because there is a serious message there, and that is, don't write poetry just after a stroke. Thanks very much for listening tonight. Enjoy the rest of the night.